My name is Rose, and what I'm doing today is I'm showing you how I process my kefir milk and make kefir cheese out of it. So what I've done is I already started a little bit. I got one of them done. I'm kind of going to go backwards because that's where I am in the process of processing these. These are great little gadgets for your coffee, for if you want to do, drip coffee and you don't have any kind of electricity or anything. But I use them for making my kefir cheese. And this is going to be more like, cream cheese or that kind of thing. It's that kind of texture. So you can get it harder if you want, or you can softer, I should say. Or you can get it this consistency, and this is kind of like almost like cream cheese consistency. This is another one that I had for coffee a long time ago that I ended up using. I like this better. I have this one. This is one they have at Walmart. They're like $20, $19.95. This is the whey at the bottom. All right. This comes right out like this. Okay. See, this is a little softer. If you can see, that's a little softer. Kind of like Greek yogurt. And so I always have this going on. I have one of these going on. There's different ways that you can do it, and there's whey at the bottom if you want to save the whey, you can. I keep stepping out of the picture. There is a culture that you can get. You don't have to go with the whole thing with the kefir grains like I did, and I think I had like my take one. I did this, and so they're already in the bag. These are kefir grains, milk kefir grains. There is water kefir grains, so you want to make sure you don't, if you're going to do this, you don't get, water kefir grains. They're not going to do good with milk. But the milk kefir grains, they're kind of like this. They look like little cauliflower bundles, and they grow, and they produce probiotics. And those probiotics, when we take them in this case, they establish colonies of beneficial bacteria in your gut to help build your immune system up and fight the onslaught of things, help cleanse our bodies. So I go ahead and I do this, and I'm just going to set this aside for now, because when I'm done with making the milk, I'm going to just really show you quickly how I use this. Just a couple of little quick ideas. See, here's one that's been filled already, the kefir cheese. And if I really want to make a harder cheese, then you can go the cheese route and look it up on the internet, where you put it in a tube, a form, and you put the product in there, and then you wrap it with cheesecloth, and then you weigh it down with something, and then you get all the water out of it, and then you can make a firmer cheese. But that's not what I'm after right now. Okay, so here we have this. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not really cleaning this real good. It's fine. And I'm just going to pour this into, ooh, look at that big chunk came out. That's kind of like when you're making cheese, you have the curds in the whey. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like, see, it's like solid, but it breaks apart. And the liquid starts to form right away. So what I do, I put a piece of saran wrap on it, and it goes in my refrigerator. So there's one, and here's two, and I always have these going on. And if you forget about them, the worst that can happen is, oh, look at that's really, oh well, that was really in there, and a big clump came out. No, I got a very clean counter, so I'm going to just scoop that back up in here. There. Just make sure that's sealed on there, and then just set that in the refrigerator. Alrighty. Now, it does have a kind of a tarty flavor, kind of like yogurt does. If you don't want to go through all this with the kefir grains and all that, you can buy kefir, plain kefir, at like Trader Joe's or Sprouts. Actually, at Sprouts, I did see a raw milk kefir, which I think is awesome. And I would probably opt for that, getting the raw and then going ahead and doing this. So what you want to do if you just do this and put it in a strainer, buy one of those, or rig something up if you want. But I would say that's a good investment. So now we're going to make the kefir milk. So all you do with this is so much easier doing it this way. If you have, I bought these, it was like $12, $15 for my little piece. It does drive you crazy though, because every day you have to do this, every 24 hours. Now I'm up to this big 2-cup, it's a pint, a quart, I think it's just a quart jar. So, and I do get raw milk. I get this at the Honeyman store. They do have raw milk in Arizona, at least at Sprouts, so if you want to get that. And I do get raw milk. If you don't want to get raw milk, you don't have to get it. I'm just looking for the healthiest, most enzymatic packed kefir cheese that I'm going to eat. So, but you can do the other. Okay, and this is kind of expensive to go. If you don't want to do it this way, you can do it this way. And I did this for a long time. This is a culture, and there's packages in it. This doesn't have as much of a beneficial benefit as obviously the raw kefir grains, but this is the next best thing. And I love doing this. With this, you just read the directions on the back. You heat the milk to, I think it's 185 degrees. Then as soon as you shut that off and you let it cool down to 76, and then I take a little bit of it, the milk when it's cooled, put it in a small container, put this culture and shake it up really good to dissolve it, and then I mix it with the rest of the milk. I put it in a big container because I'm making a lot. Usually I'll put it in something like this, put the cover on it, put it in the cupboard so it's dark, and then the next day, 24 hours later, you'll see when you turn the jar, it's pretty solid. And then you just start making your kefir cheese, drinking your kefir milk, and I just leave this in. I have a big thing of it when I do it, and I just keep, because I don't have enough strainers to do this whole amount, so I do sections of it. But this is what I'm into right now, is the kefir grains. So if you have kefir grains and you want to know how to use the kefir grains, or you want to start using the kefir grains, if you do get the kefir grains, or you have the kefir grains and you're going crazy because every day they got to be tended to, they're like a baby, then you can put them in the refrigerator with some milk, so they've got some nourishment, and you can let them hibernate for a little while and take a break. You can do that. It might take 2 or 3 times before they're fully functional, they're fully going. I had that happen with these when I got them. The first little bit that I did, it just was a slow go, and then all of a sudden it took off. I mean, I had a small amount of milk, then all of a sudden I'm doing, a cup of milk, 2 cups of milk, and that's doing good. So as it gets bigger, I will have to use more milk. Otherwise, it's gonna, I don't know what, but you got to have food for them. And if all the food is eaten and it's super, super, super thick, there's no more food left to eat, then eventually the kefir grains are going to start dying because they do need food. So this I'm going to put in my cupboard. And I'm back again. Put the milk away. Okay, just to show you a few things that I do. I made this lemon curd, which is probiotic. Yummy, yummy. Sweetened with this. Whoa! This pure, I like this. The top comes off, you can get to it easy. This is another one. This is a powdered sugar, and it's 2 times the strength, so when you use it, use half as much. This is really great, especially if you want something to dissolve really quick. So, let me get some dishes. Alright. At least one dish. Okay. So what I do with the kefir cheese, mix it up a little bit because some of it was real thick and some of it was not as thick. So I just take that. Now, this is not a lot. It's maybe 1/8 of a cup. I'm sorry, I'm not very professional, but anyway, hopefully I'll get there. We'll watch this video a year from now and laugh a lot about it because I've been wanting to do this forever, to get on and just to share. I mean, I have so many things. I have a freeze dryer, I've been freeze drying. I do all kinds of cooking and baking, and I have all kinds of equipment that I want to show, making bone broth soup. I have tons of things. So hopefully this is the beginning of my channel, and this is Keto and Culture. Now this is whipped cream. This is from Raw Cream. You can use not raw cream. You go to Trader Joe's for $3.99. You can get an organic heavy whipping cream, and that's what I used to use. But now at Sprouts they have the raw, and I've been getting the raw, and it's quite expensive, but you know, I like it. So what I'll do is I take some of the Kefir cheese, and then I'm going to make this for my husband now, so he'll love this. And I put a bunch of whipping cream in it because whipping cream is good on our diet. We can do whipping cream. So my whole idea is like, how do I make something that helps add the fat to my diet and also is low in carbohydrate and tasty and sweet, because we always want to touch that sweet tooth. So, and I thought, well, if I mix whipped cream with it, that'll make the kefir stretch, because that's really all I want is some kind of probiotic in my, you know, whether I'm eating breakfast, lunch, or dinner, I want some kind of probiotic in there. So let me take a spoon and I'm going to stir this up. Now the whipped cream, when I make it, I already have a sweetener in it, so it's pretty sweet. Now the kefir cheese is just plain. I mean, you're going to have to do something with it. You can see how nice and fluffy that is. I'm just going to taste a little. No, it needs sweetener. You can just add this any way you want and just kind of stir that in. You can do a lot of different things with it. What I'm going to do right now, my husband's going to come home and I'm going to give him a snack, is chia seeds. So I always have these going too, chia seed pudding. We'll do that another day. But I'm going to put a whole bunch of chia seed pudding in there. And then he likes the lemon curd. So I am going to take a scoop of the lemon curd and put that in. Now that's just a really big conglomeration of all the different things that I've done. Now you don't have to do this fancy. You can just do the kefir cheese, and you can just mix your sweetener with it. I do this because you don't want a lot of the kefir cheese. I really don't know the carbohydrate count. I think I tried figuring it out once, and it's not that high. But you definitely need those probiotic things. So there we go. I know it doesn't look real appealing right now. Another thing that you can do with this, oh, it's really good. I think it's fine just the way it is. I'll lick a spoon. It tastes really good. It's creamy. It's light. The heavy whipping cream lightened it right up. It's almost like a mousse. Now this is really good on, we have a thing, we like broccoli, and for years I would put sour cream on the broccoli. Well, now we don't do that anymore. We use this instead of sour cream. It's real tangy. Not real tangy, but it's tangy. I'm cleaning up my mess with my tongue right here. Okay. So again, you want to try to get, if you're doing ketogenic, you want to try to get some kind of probiotic in your diet. I think the best way to do that is to find things, especially, we want things that are sweet. So many times we're, doing the ketogenic, and it might be, we might kind of be getting bored with it, especially if you're not a big cook. This is kind of great. You can buy this in the store and just strain it yourself, and then use it, put it in at dinner. If you're having any kind of vegetable, you can put a dollop of that on the vegetable. You can season it up with granulated garlic, salt. You can put